Okay, Jason, what I would like you to do is tell us a little bit about your youth. What do you remember about your youth, how you grew up? You know, we started, you were born in Kensington. We lived in a little caravan. From there we went to Elsie's. From there we went to, it was quite an interesting life.
Yeah.
You traveled quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, so what you're speaking about is one of the things that are requested of us when we get here. It's called your life story. The reason they ask you to talk about your life story is it helps you to remember not just the wrongs that you've done, but to fill in those gaps of, yes, I write my life story, but as things come to me, then I will add to it. Now, my first memory was when we were living in Elsie's River in the house. I don't have any memory of us living in the caravan. The other thing I just rediscovered when I came here was my first love back then as a child, that was reading. Consume books like crazy, just as I did when I was a youngster.
You had a personal library.
Yeah.
At 4 years old.
That's right.
You had your own library at 4 years old, and you could read every book.
Yeah, that's right. Big
Amazing.
words, small words. I even had the dictionary as my companion. I remember reading the words. The other thing also that also came back to me was my second first love, and that was the singing, the guitar, the music. And I remember Mom used to tell me, "Shut up, because I'm singing with all the adverts. You can't take it anymore."
Since you were less than a year old,
Yes,
you were just starting to started to sing.
That is one of the big things that the addiction killed, because I was focused on the addiction and not on the gifts that God had given me. Because for me, reading was a gift that God had given me. He gave me the ability to be able to absorb it at such an early age that it fueled me further on in my life, and it gave me an advantage over everyone. Now, what I didn't realize is, even though I didn't smoke cigarettes, even though I didn't hang out with bad people at school, but I actually had a lot of addictive traits. I didn't realize it then, but now when I look back at it, I realize that I had my first cigarette when I started working at Silver Creek Spur in Tiger Valley.
How old were you then?
21.
Okay.
And the only reason I had it was because I had a stressful night, but I overcame the stressful night by handling it. But the cigarette looked so good, and that's when I took my first drag of a cigarette, and it helped me to calm down. And it was Camel Filter, which is, one of the heaviest cigarettes there are.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember us moving around a lot, with moving to
Ravensmead,
and then to Parow, and I remember that other school that I went to, St. Andrews. That school was a nightmare.
Yes.
I was surrounded by future drug lords,
and gangsters,
prostitutes, and gangsters all the way around.
Terrible.
And funny enough, a few years later, when I was at Parow High School, I actually met up with one or two of my childhood friends. Remember Robin?
Yes.
The big guy that was at primary school with me.
Yes, I remember.
Me and him used to reminisce about how the Modderdam ladies used to throw stones at the cars there.
Yeah.
It was a memory we shared. He's married in London now.
Okay.
Doing well for himself. And he was actually one of the first people that didn't tell me, am I doing something or am I doing something wrong with the weed smoking? He always put it to me in the form of a question. Like, don't you think you've had enough? Don't you think you should, but he never accused It's one of the memories that always comes back to me.
Yeah.
But even when I tried to stop on my own, it was one of those things where I thought to myself, you know what, now that is a true friend.
Yeah.
Because even if he didn't agree with what I was doing, he still told me as it was.
Yes.
And those are very hard to come by. Now, I've made a lot of friends here as well at R.A.E.L. And I haven't told my life story, but they know enough about my life to know where I come from, just like we hear about everybody.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, even though there are people from different backgrounds, I still relate to a lot of stuff that they can tell me just because of purely of their mindset.
Yeah.
What they were thinking at the time. What they were trying to do. They were trying to stop. They felt trapped. And that is one of the most important steps, is without that first step, I'm powerless over my addiction, admitting it.
Yeah.
And because of it, my life became unmanageable. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
My life became unmanageable. Now, a lot of times when we pray, even praying for food, we would actually pray for the addict out there that hasn't gotten any relief yet. We were driving on the bakkie down to the river the other day to collect wood.
Yeah.
And this new guy, Ryan, he's been here 3 days, and I learned something from him. I learned even more how to appreciate stuff, because he was sitting here looking at the 11 of us sitting on the back of the bucket and say, you know what, What about all the millions of guys still trapped in addiction?
Exactly.
What about them? We the 11
You-
fortunate
you
ones
es-
to be here.
you
Some are
managed to
sponsored,
escape,
some
yeah.
are not. What about all of them out there?
Yeah.
These 30-day, 28-day programs out there, they don't work. They don't work. They're purely clinical. It's bread and butter for them. They're just making profit off you.
Yes.
Now that's what makes R.A.E.L different to all the others. Mr. Hall is not doing this
Yeah.
for money. We were sitting here the other day, he was sitting in the corner, there was 4 guys there, 7 guys there, and he says, just to prove a point, he wasn't blowing his own horn, he was proving to us, I sponsor you, I sponsor you, I half sponsor you, I sponsor you 3/4, I sponsor you. And he asked us all the question, now do you guys still think that I'm doing this for the money?
Mm.
And we realized, but no, that's what makes this place different.
Yeah.
It's the person who is in charge of it, not only has he got 14 years of sobriety,
Yeah.
but he leads by example.
And it's it's a mission that God has given
Yes,
him.
he's doing it for the love
It's
of
like
the game.
I'm a pastor. I've got my church. He is a different kind of pastor
Yes, exactly.
because his congregation are the addicts that need him.
That's right.
And the
Like-minded
people. So it is a ministry. It's a godly ministry, but it's not like a church. It's a different ministry.
Yeah.